Now we're going to go through 30-second note rests, and you'll notice that 30-second note rest just feels like a snap of a finger. It flies by so fast. And in modern music, you don't have a lot of music at 30 beats per minute. So generally when you hear a 30-second note rest, it is quick all the time. Even when we demonstrate them at 50 beats per minute, you're going to notice it just go by like that. And you'll notice this is the only section that I actually demonstrate something at 50 beats per minute, because I really wanted to try my best to give you an example of how it sounds at a tempo that is actually maybe sometimes used. There's not a lot of songs even at 50 beats per minute other than really slow ballads, and in those songs it's rare that you'll ever hear a 30-second note rest. And so this isn't something that comes up a lot, but it is something I want you to work on. I want you to be able to hear it if you ever encounter that musical situation. Now, just like we did in 16th note triplet rests, I only need you to play these at the slowest tempo. So I only want you to play these at 50 beats per minute. Once you can play them each perfectly for 2 minutes straight at 50 beats per minute, then you're ready to move on to the next section. Okay, so I'm going to skip over number 1, but you look at number 1, you'll see that's what I've done just to give you a visual demonstration of what a 30-second note rest looks like. And so for 8th note rest, you had 1 dot with a line. For 16th note rest, you had 2 dots with a line. And now for 30-second notes, you have 3 dots with a line. Because 30-second notes are double the value of 16th notes, right? 4 16th notes is equal to 8 30-second notes. And so that's why the rest has also changed visually. Now, how many 30-second note rests fit in 1 bar of 4/4? If you said 32, you're absolutely correct. 32 rests fit in there. So you can imagine having 32 notes and resting on 1 of them. Or what we're going to do in number 2, which is having 4 counts. Each count is a group of 30-second notes, but only 7 30-second notes. And we're basically going to take off the last note of each one. Now, how do I count these? I basically count these as 16th notes. Okay? So I go 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and Okay, so we're just taking off the last note there. And it is very, very difficult, and it's very challenging to count, but you'll get it. Once you hear it, I think you'll be able to internalize it. So I'm going to play it for you guys at 50, and then again at 90 beats per minute. And hopefully you can start to hear how it comes together and how it sounds, and then you'll be able to transfer that onto the drum set. Here we go. Number 3 is what I believe one of the most challenging ones in all of these rest exercises. And that's because we're removing the first note on the first count of count 1 and count 3. And so it's just a very, very quick amount of time before you actually have to start. So the best way for you to maybe do this is listen to a click track at 60. And then just think, okay, I got to start right after that first click. So click, da, 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 right? And just take a little bit and listen to what I'm doing. I'm going to play it at 50 and then again at 90 and really try and internalize what the rhythm sounds like. Once you get the rhythm in your head and you can kind of play along with me, then it should be easier for you to understand exactly what's going on and understand what it feels like to not play a 30-second note or to rest on a 30-second note. So I'll play it for you guys at 50 and then again at 90. In number 4, we're basically doing a 30-second note beat, and we're having a rest on the last 30-second note of each count. And it's just starting to move it around, starting to make it a little bit more musical, and I want you guys to see how you can actually play a 30-second note rest in a musical context. So here we go at 50, and then again at 90. Now, number 5 might look like the most challenging one in here, but I can assure you it's not. With the sticking that I gave you, which is right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left. So just practice that on the hi-hat first. Okay, so you'll notice how much it flows, and actually it's a lot easier than playing just straight singles. It's good to learn it as straight singles, but it's also good to try and find ways to simplify things. And so what I've said is do everything right, right, left, left, right, right, left within these next 2 bars. Now, the only exception is on counts 2 and counts 4 within the beat, we come down and hit the snare with our right hand. And we're not playing a right, right there, we're just doing a right. And then we're resting on the 30-second note, and then we come back up here for the hi-hat, left, left, right, right, left, which is 5 strokes. We're getting into some of the rudiments here. You know, we're doing like a 7-stroke roll, now we're doing a little bit of a 5-stroke roll, but I don't really want to confuse you with that technical stuff right now, because we're talking about 30-second note rest. And so I really want you to focus on the 30-second note rest and what it feels like to actually not play something for a 30-second note. Now the fill is just down the toms, and it's using that exact pattern. So you're probably going to find it easier than it looks, and you're probably going to want to use this in many, many other things because it's a very cool sounding fill. So I'll play this for you guys at 50, and then again at 90 beats per minute. And that is the end of the 30-second note rest. Now what I want you to do is play them at 50 beats per minute for 2 minutes straight each, and I want you to play them perfectly. So don't just play it for 1 minute and then make a mistake and say, I'm done. You know, really try and get it for 2 minutes straight, because I want you to internalize this stuff as much as possible. And I know it might take you, an hour to get number 3 perfect for 2 minutes straight. And so I really want you to practice that for an hour, because I know that's going to be beneficial for you and your drumming. So once you've completed this, you can move on to the next section.